on. Second. How about now? Okay, now we're live. It has been quite the day, let me tell you. What a perfect episode for today, because we're talking all about stress. And as you can imagine, life is stressful. Now you all should be able to hear me. It's like I said, it's been a stressful day, and I really originally didn't want to do this. I'll be honest with you all. I didn't want to do this. I was going to take this week off. That would have meant taking the whole week off, because I don't think I posted a single video. And I'm trying to stream on a new machine as well. So you all will have to let me know how it looks, because is it super jittery? Is it crisp? I can't tell. It looks okay. You only hear me on one side. That's because like I said, I started up on a new machine. So, one sec. Well, watch this. I'll fix that in like 1 second. Okay, not 1 second, but close enough. There, how's that? Should be in both ears now. As you can tell, I am not at all prepared for class. Mainly because I changed to a completely new, like I said, a completely new machine, a completely new computer. I know, I'm in both ears. How about that? So we've got, this week is going to be a little different. Brick by brick, I was never using my work computer. No one can confirm that. No one can prove that by any means. So we're going to go with no. But let me pull up where is the live chat? There we go. Oh, needs to be clipped a little bit, because in the last hour, I was setting this whole thing up. There we go. Little small. Can we make it a little bigger? There we go. That's better. It's much better. Stress. Stress is a real thing. I don't know what any of you do. Have any of you felt stress in your life at all? Or is it just me? As many of you can guess, I actually am a CPA. I know that might be surprising. I didn't choose this alter ego. This alter ego chose me. But we have someone in chat that speaks the truth. Mrs. CPA knows the truth. Only CPAs in busy season know true stress. There's nothing truer than that. And I have to say, no one else knows true stress. I don't know how many hours I've been going on this week. It's probably been about, I don't know, 65 would be my guess. But, so I figured, just in case none of you know, well, none of you would know, and that'd be kind of concerning if any of you knew, but Bricotomy, who is our normal guest, is having a family weekend. Not a family vacay. I don't know do you want to call it a family vacay? Just a family weekend. So he is off duty this week. I was originally going to have Mrs. CPA hop on. She could she honestly could. I could say, Miss CPA, you need to show up on the podcast, and she wouldn't have a choice. Well, she would have a choice, but I would plead and I would beg. But it's just me holding on the fort. I can't remember the last time. I don't think I've ever had a single episode where it's been just me. So it's going to be me talking to you all. Oh, maybe. And welcome Cooper in the chat. But one thing I did want to do is get some thoughts from you all, because like I know I made the joke in the beginning. It was obviously a joke. I'm not the only person in the world that experiences stress, which might surprise many of you. But I do want to hear from some others, maybe even some call-ins for members first to call in and give their thoughts on this, because I am curious. I'm curious how you all feel in this regard, because it hits us all, I think. No matter how old or young we are, this really does hit us all. So essentially the length and duration of this stream is largely going to depend on you all. We could go for a while if we're kind of feeling it. I know the last time we had a therapy episode, as I try and figure out this new mic. See, I'm keeping this little tab on because I still haven't decided if I'm full in on the Shure SM7. I'm not convinced it's the mic for me. You all will have to let me know if it sounds better. Does it sound better than the other one? But stress. Actually, before one of the things I do actually to handle stress is to pop open a cold one and to sip it slowly. But last time we had a therapy episode, it was mainly about how you navigate a hobby or an obsession, well, maybe a borderline obsession with your significant other, in my case, with my wife. And I figured out that probably the best way to navigate that is to infect them with the same obsession as you and to get them in the hobby as well. And so I think we all concluded that was probably the best way to get around that. So I don't know. Is the best way to deal with stress to just give into stress? Maybe not. Probably not. Yeah, Cooper. That was a really good episode. Maybe it was just a combination of maybe it was just a combination of people seeing the stream, clicking on it, because that would have been a really dry stream. Not gonna lie, it would have been really dry if no one showed up, because we had a lot of interaction. We had a lot of people giving thoughts, a lot of people giving their takes or their life experiences, which really is what makes, honestly, any stream above average, is when people are able to bring their own takes, their own life experiences to the table. And I think that's really what set us above the average on that stream. So unfortunately, with this episode, it's going to depend. It's going to depend on you all and how much input we can get, how deep we are willing to go. How deep I'm willing to go is probably where this honestly will depend. If Mrs. CPA is willing to hop over here and I don't know. Oh no, she's maybe. But we would have to kind of reset, readjust, and honestly, we'll see how it goes. But for me, stress looks like, what does stress look like? I'm curious if, let's see. Who's hanging out in the chat right now? I need to know who my audience is, because that's going to help me determine what kind of content we talk about today, because it really does depend. But I'm willing to go the extra mile for all of you. That's how much I care. We got Cooper, we've got Mrs. CPA, we got a couple other silent folk. I would actually be really curious to know how many people just hang out in chat and don't say a single word. It would be interesting. I don't want to out you, because of course that would kind of defeat the purpose of your choosing of that kind of viewership. But hey, you never know. I'll just type some random people that I know. But while Mrs. CPA is getting ready, because spoiler alert, yeah, let him lurk. Spoiler alert, she might show up. I can't guarantee it won't happen. I can't guarantee it will happen, but it might certainly happen, which actually would be really bad, because then you all would hear me in one ear and hear her in the other. So you'd have to decide which one you want to listen to. What are we going on here? But as far as truly dealing with stress, this is where it gets very subjective, because there's really so many options. And I feel like once you, and for me personally, because having someone else that lives with me, a significant other, spouse in my case, it really does kind of change the whole dynamic of how it can go down, just because if you lash out in a negative way, if dealing with stress can be a negative thing, then you have to be really careful about not kind of taking it out on that person, because that's obviously very bad. That's a very bad idea. You definitely don't want to do that. Whether it's just kind of snapping, being short, which can be very easy, obviously. Can be very easy. Don't ask Mrs. CPA how easy it is. No, just kidding. I'm not mean. I'm drinking a Monster and my name's Kyle. But for the people in chat, let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Obviously, one of the main ways to deal with stress is to build Lego. And sometimes that can go borderline, like we talked about before, borderline addiction, because sometimes you spend way too much money, way too much time on those things to kind of deal with stress, and it can turn into a very bad thing. I imagine that would be considered an addiction. I can't speak for my own experience, just because I've never been addicted to buying too much Lego. I know Mrs. CPA would say otherwise. But I'm going to currently go through eBay and see if there's any more great listings for Bionicle, because I'm a little low. I'm a little dry on the new Bionicle purchases. It's been a while. But actually, no, this week I say that as I actually literally did pick some things up. So I did pick up some more of these cards, which are awesome. I might add. Awesome. But, with stress, I do have to say that, or burnout, as we're kind of talking, the two kind of go hand in hand. Stress leads to burnout, I would say. But with content creation, it's been kind of rough over the course of busy season, over the course of the past, month-ish, I would say, just with more work, the more stringent work requirements, and the inability to create content, which has been very, very rough. I know even looking at the history of how many videos I've been able to post over the past couple of weeks. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up. There goes CPA. Is that gonna pull me up? Sure enough. Also, something else. I did just pass the 1.5 thousand subscriber mark, which I was very excited for. I was hovering around it for such a long time, and finally able to pass that mark is a huge milestone. Halfway to 2,000. Very excited about that being halfway to 2,000. But man, there's a long way to go. I think I just need that one video that pops. Come on, pause. I just need that one video that pops, and man, boy, is it gonna be great. Hey, Shy, thanks for hopping in. We're trying another therapy type video. I don't know if it's gonna hit as well as the last one. The last one was popping like crazy, but we'll see if we can recreate it this time. I'm not gonna lie, off to a little bit of a bumpy start. As Mrs. CPA is getting ready to... Is she ready? As she's getting ready. But I'm going to have to... unfortunately, I might have to totally reset this this thing, because we have to go dual audio. Can't go mono, or can't go stereo with this. But with stress, as we kind of set the table, I kind of want to talk about different kinds of stress. Different kinds of stress. And, thanks, Cooper, for that. Different kinds of stress, how it can maybe be not so obvious that you're experiencing stress. And obviously, with the preface, we're not licensed therapists. You all know how that bit goes. We're not licensed. We're not professionals. We're just friends talking to each other. So real quick, while Mrs. CPA is getting ready, I have to pause the stream for literally just a second. I have to change the audio from stereo to mono so both of the mics can be picked up. But I thought she was walked down here with a bunch of papers. I thought she was going to lay down some knowledge for us all, or hit me with it. Maybe that's how she relieves her stress. All right, so I'll be back in 1 second. Really hoping the stream doesn't end. That would be very bad, but I'll be back in one singular moment. All right, how's that? I think we're back. Hey, chat, how's it going? We back? I think we're back. So now I can be plugged into one. Where's the other XLR cord? It's probably on the couch. So we're going to have to rearrange a little bit for bringing in a special guest. Special guest star. No, it's an XLR cable. Okay, one moment. No, it's right here. All right. I'm going to have to rearrange the camera.
Am I going to your left?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Probably doesn't matter. I love cords. Cords stress me out.
first time I wore my glasses on your stream.
There we go. All right, we've got sound. We've got sound from here. Turn that up a little. Testing.
Testing.
You're gonna sit on.
Here. You know that. Oh. We got a couple cords caught.
She's stressing me out.
No, your wife is supposed to be the solution, not the problem. Oh. There we go. Can I have my water and over there? That was such a smooth transition. Hello. Hello, chat. You look less dead.
Ooh, how far away from me?
Woo!
Where can I go?
We were good.
I should have plugged in the back. That was kind of dumb of me.
We were good. Ooh.
You just can't look over there. You have to look. We have to face the camera.
I know. I'm gonna have to get used to that. You got some people in chat. Hello, chat.
Well, they'll come out and. Well, that's kind of. What's that picture of Stitch?
Isn't it
Is
cute?
that the leaked live action edition?
No, that's just a cute picture I have of my background for Stitch. So,
Just look right there.
there we go. Hello.
Here, we have to be far apart from each other because we don't want to be within arm's distance.
What? So we go whack each other? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, thank you, Firebird, for noticing this. Mike, I think it sounds I still can't tell. I still can't tell if it sounds better.
I like it better.
See, you can see us in the little screen up there. Ooh, I wonder. I bet you can. Yeah, Caleb, I'm sure you can get a screen that sits on top of the Sony camera to help monitor. I bet you could do that.
Or I was thinking a way to drop it. Yeah, maybe.
I could just rip it out and get a new one.
No.
But stress.
Not a new to the new.
Am
I your
Let
stress?
me.
Or am I your solution?
Let me.
Or dodge the question?
Let me make it a little more cozy. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
Or we could just be closer to each other.
Yeah, that's what the zooming is
Oh.
gonna do.
No, I meant like physically.
Yeah. See, now we have to be closer because.
No, do you actually want me to scoop this? Wow.
So, and even actually, I'm curious with Shy and Caleb in the chat. I'm curious things that stress. Okay, so you're just no worries. Caleb, he said he's got to pop. He's just popping in saying, hey, he's got to head out.
Toodles.
But is there any specific sort of stress for content creators? I can imagine there is a whole load of stress that that comes with people that are sole content creators because of the stress of knowing like this thing has to work, and if it doesn't work, then
there's a lot of like video game players that I know that don't like the games that they play anymore. Well, not that I know of. That don't like the games that they play anymore, and a lot of them face that with Fortnite when that was so huge, and like Ninja got really famous from that. And
you mean they don't love Fortnite for all time?
for all time. No, it's because it became a job for them and they had to start putting out. So it's really easy for things you like to become a job if you exhaust it too much. I also think that's why when I binge my hobbies, that I get bored of them and then I have to flip it because I don't want to feel like I have to do that. You know?
Have to do what?
My hobbies.
You want to feel like you don't have to.
No, like
you're too high.
You're supposed to enjoy it. Enjoy the time. If you find yourself that you're being forced to do your hobbies, you're not going to enjoy it anymore.
So you're saying when I'm forced, I feel like I'm forced to make a video, it's a bad thing? It could be.
It could be. I mean, it could be adding to your stress more if you feel forced to do it.
What if I feel forced to watch a movie that you want to watch?
There's something, well, that's not a hobby. That is just spending time with your amazing wife. So.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes.
I didn't think about it that way. I'm glad that this whole thing has been worth it because this is therapy for us, actually. You all are just witnessing our live therapy.
Yeah.
But I think Shai, you were saying yes that for content creators and the stress that comes along with that, is that anything specific that you want to share with the group? This light is not doing justice to my very pale skin. Hey Scott, thanks for stopping by. Our third member in the chat.
Woot woot.
Thanks for stopping by.
Do I count? I'm not necessarily in chat anymore.
Yeah, you were. True. It's still over there though, right?
It is.
As long as we're getting the view time, that's all that matters to me.
Yes.
And hey, look, it looks like it's the CPU percentage is running a little high, but I might have to run some drivers because I haven't put any drivers. But I don't think I need any drivers.
Yes. That is how computers work.
Well, yeah, it just runs the drivers.
Yes. But that it optimizes them.
That's true. So Shai says there comes a time when you feel that you have to post a video, especially when too much time goes by. Yeah, that's kind of where I was at which maybe was a good thing, because when looking at a couple of my videos posted this year, not including the Stitch one, unfortunately, they're all,
I see how it is,
some of my best performing videos.
The ones that I'm not in. Wait, was I in the Stitch one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's me. I'm the problem.
I mean, we kept it to 8 minutes. We didn't drag it out like the Animal Crossing one got dragged out a lot. But
yeah.
No, I think it's mainly just the content. Like, people on YouTube aren't going to watch Stitch and
it saddens my heart.
It's kind of the normies that are going to watch Stitch.
It's the Disney fans that would. But also, I don't know how many. I could be wrong. I feel like the Star Wars fan and the Lego fan has a lot of overlap. I don't know how much Disney fans have a lot of overlap with. I know Lego puts out Disney stuff. I feel like it's more for kids, though. I feel like Disney adults are more so gonna get other things, versus if you're a Lego fan and then a Disney fan, or a Disney fan and then slightly a Lego fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I'd buy that for $1. Shai also says, but then there is also quality over quantity. Yep, that's kind of a huge... Yeah. There's a very clear line in between many content creators who you can tell whether they're quality over quantity or vice versa.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many of you can guess where I fall under that line, or in that line. But I mean, it's kind of just what kind of creator you are. So I'm not going to make videos that are like Caleb's quality or Shai's quality or etc. But hey, that's just kind of, if I can make a video that gets a lot of views and gets a couple thousand, I mean,
There you go.
It's good enough for me to some extent. But yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely probably some stress that goes into that of trying to figure out what you're actually going to do and how you're going to execute that.
For sure.
But some of you may or may not know, but Mrs. CPA started her job this week.
I did.
Her first job.
Finally. What?
Career job.
First career job. Yes. And hopefully none of them are watching.
Do they know that we're...
I did tell
it's
one.
Partially a thing, but I feel like...
I mentioned it to a couple of them. Whether they're actually going to watch or not.
I feel like they wouldn't actually watch.
If they did, I owe you $20 if they can watch right now and come on Monday and say that I owe them $20.
Wait, did you tell them that?
No.
Then why do you owe them $20?
No, I'm saying if they're watching right now, sure, I'll owe them $20 because I don't think that they're watching.
Oh, you're just kind of betting on the fact that they're not watching?
Yeah. So if one of them comes to me Monday. Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of diving headfirst in at work, and they're kind of watching if I swim.
Swim.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're like there, and they keep saying they don't want to overwhelm me. It's just a lot, and I am a people pleaser, and I don't like to disappoint people, and I don't feel like I'm doing the best job, and mostly because I'm just new at it, and so I haven't fully learned it, and they're fully aware of that, and they're totally understanding. It's just my personality where I never want to turn in a project or do something if I can't give it to perfection, and it's just because you gotta practice at it to get better. So I know I'll get there, and I know it'll come easy, and I know it'll come faster. But yeah, it's a little stressed from that right now, but I don't have like a busy season like you guys. So and I do know that there is, a horizon that I'm reaching. So
how are you dealing with that stress?
I've been falling asleep at like 9:30.
So sleep. That's something we haven't talked about. Sleep is a good way.
Yeah, I like
to deal with stress.
I mean, I like sleep. So, like your family, if I tell them like you're napping, they're like, "Oh, John's stressed," or So, yeah. I mean, but if I take a nap during the day, it's like, whatever.
Very normal.
Yeah, like I like naps. In fact, if I don't nap, it's probably more weird. So
maybe like 50-50.
Yeah, I guess I would just sleep in more if I didn't nap,
True.
But now I can't.
Yeah, I would like to be able to nap. It's just unfortunately there's not enough time in the day for me to nap, because you have to cut something out, or at least I have to cut something out if I'm not going to nap, or if I'm going to nap.
Yeah.
So it's either like...
Well, yeah, and during busy season, if you napped, you would just be messing up your sleep schedule anyways. So I don't think sleep for you is an option right now, as in coping with stress.
I don't think I would mess up my schedule. I just wouldn't get enough done. Or I would have to take out... For me, exercise is a huge stress reliever.
That's true. That is a good one for you.
I prefer to weight lift like 3 times a day would be the ideal. But unfortunately that during busy season, during this time of year, doesn't happen pretty much at all. So that's just how it works.
Yeah, you would never have the time for that.
I did a couple weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago, but before I got sick. That also threw everything way off.
Did you say 3 times a day or 3 times a week?
Let's run it back. It should be 3 times a week.
I think you said 3 times a day. And so we'll see.
I ran it back and I did say 3 times. No,
I was trying to figure that out. I'm like, there's no way you would have time for that.
I don't think it's good for anyone to lift 3 times a day.
No. I was like, maybe 2.
Unless you're
maybe I don't think that's.
Be working
I
so
know.
many different muscle groups, but
yeah.
So when and honestly, food diet, like when I'm eating garbage food, eating out too much, which kind of happens during this time of year, I feel it. I don't know about anyone in chat. If you like, if I were to have, like, even when I go out, I still try to eat relatively healthy.
I know you do. I'm the opposite.
But like, if I were to have
give me everything,
a steak dinner and then a burger the next night, and then
are you adding
pizza,
me for dinner?
No.
Because
that was small. Oh yeah, we did.
We just did pizza, burger, steak.
Dude,
that's the exact opposite of what we just
maybe
did.
I do feel like garbage, but no. So we had
drop your dinner recommendations because I am getting fired. So
we had
dinner.
These things. They're called
garlic bread pizza.
Garlic bread pizza. You take Texas toast garlic bread, which is already unhealthy, and then you put marinara sauce on it. Marinara. That's how I say it. Marinara. And then you put pepperoni and cheese on top of that, and it's good. I ate 4 of them, which is about 2 too much, about 3 too many.
They were good though. They're better than how my other pizzas have been turning out recently. So
that's a good point.
So pizza.
I wasn't adding anyone on that. That's just how it works sometimes.
Food recommendations in chat, please.
We're talking about stress, and I guess stress and food definitely go together as far as a coping mechanism.
I feel like boredom though too also goes with food. Like snacking. So I'm either bored or I'm stressed, and so I'm always eating.
I definitely love snacking, and unfortunately that. But see, that's why I'm trying to keep that
down.
No, not. I'm just trying to keep the exercise up, just so it doesn't
counter it,
catch up.
Yeah.
As quick as it could otherwise. But I do want to still hear from you all in chat what your stressors kind of look like and how you. I don't know. I feel like the word cope has a lot of negative connotations to it, so I don't like to kind of use the word or phrase how you cope with it. But
I think cope is a good word for it.
Because if you cope with something, you're not necessarily fixing it.
How do you live with it? Yeah.
It's marinara, okay?
Marinara. Are you doing this on purpose?
No, I just always said marinara because it sounds like anytime I say it's like marinara, like the.
I guess that's how I feel with sideways. That's how I feel with pop versus marinara. Soda. Like living in the Midwest, everyone says pop, but I'm like pop, soda.
Parenthood equals nonstop stress. Are you ready for parenthood yet?
Are we? No, I'm kidding. We're not. But we're not going to make that announcement yet. We don't have an announcement to make.
There's no announcement to make.
There is no announcement. But if
CPA Junior is not on the way.
No, he's not. She is not.
He
or she is not on the way. No one is on the way. No bun in the oven. Yes. I mean, eventually we'll be there. I'm sure we could ask
my brother.
Your brothers about it. If they're in chat, they can tell us all about the stress. Like your nephew was waking up at 2 a.m. the other day for no reason, apparently.
I mean, do you have to get up with them or you just tell them to go back to sleep?
Yes. An under 1-year-old, you can just tell, go back to sleep. That'll work.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't you tell them that?
Just reason with them?
Yeah, reason with a child.
When they can't speak yet? Yeah.
Why can't they? They can speak.
Your little nephew cannot speak. I mean, he tries. Nothing's being said.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah.
Other causers. Causers? Is that even a word?
Causers?
Triggers? Stressors? Family? Can family be a stress?
Am I Do I cause you stress?
Those the closest to you have the greatest opportunity to cause stress.
Yeah.
That was deep.
No, but I
That
mean, I
was
feel
very
like
deep.
that's so common. Like, you think about how fast you could be to snap at family or your husband or your wife of like, oh, they just didn't do this or they forgot this. But like, would you snap at a stranger who's doing that? Like, no, you'd probably give them the benefit of the doubt. I would. But because you see them day to day, or how often you see them week to week, month to month, like, you get more comfortable with them, and we start being less gracious to other people. So family can be a stressor because of that, because you're just.
I'm sure Shy that is not. Wait, why isn't it? It didn't pop up. I'm sure Shy that isn't inspired by real life events.
That would be very stressful.
Right there. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That would be very stressful. No, thank you.
Fun fact: when I was a kid and my brother was a kid, when we were all kids, my little brother had it was a BB gun, and he was kind of messing around. And he's like, ho ho ho, ha, look at me, and he pointed it out the back door, so the sliding door, just pointed it through the window, and then just kind of pulled the trigger, kind of half-heartedly, jokingly, and sure enough, the whole thing spider webbed.
Oh no!
And it didn't. And I remember hearing it just like tinkle, like crinkle, not tinkle. Hearing it crinkle, like the glass going as it was
slowly
just
spreading.
Well, it spread immediately, but just
going further,
just holding, and it was kind of funny because I knew I wasn't in trouble. A lot of times, as with a bunch of brothers, you could like one brother knocks the other brother into something and it breaks, and then it's not funny.
Yeah.
But
because you were completely away from it.
Yeah, because I was just watching, and thankfully we had proper gun safety, and he didn't point it at us and pretend to shoot. That would have been very bad. Never do that.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm sure your parents were thrilled. Were they home?
It was in the winter.
Ooh.
I think my mom was home and my dad wasn't.
Okay.
But it was the basement walkout.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the upstairs one.
No, it was the basement.
Okay.
And my parents were like, it was gonna be.
Yeah, you got to get that.
I don't know, a couple hundred, like $800, and my parents, rightfully so. He was probably like 10 or 11. They were gonna make him work and pay for it, obviously, because you broke it, you fix it.
Poor guy.
I bet that caused a lot of stress. But then my grandma, my dad's mom, came to the rescue and said, I'll pay for it for him.
I think I have heard this story because I think I remember her saying something about that. So shout out to grandmas everywhere.
Unfortunately, in Shy's case, his wife broke the window. Oh, no. I wouldn't be happy if he broke the window.
Okay, would you rather our kid break the window or me break the window?
Depending on the circumstances, I'd rather our kid break a window.
I agree, because it would be... If I broke it, though, there would have to be other circumstances that caused that. Like I was pushed through a window.
Then there's other questions that need to be answered.
And it would probably be you.
Who's pushing you through said window?
Yeah, exactly.
But here's another one. A major purchase, like a car.
Yeah. That's a little relevant. We leased my car, so we're about to go buy my car. And, oh, you know what? Speaking of this, changing your name after you get married causes so much stress. Husbands, you do not understand.
Not for me. I wasn't stressed at all.
You didn't have to change your name.
I know. That's yeah. You're right.
Name changes, a lot of stress. And I thought I had it all done. And 4 months in, I realized I'm not. And it stalls stuff. And because your name is different, so you can't sign paperwork, you got to change it. You have to, there's so much legal stuff as well. Like, so yeah, we're over 4 months in.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought this a while ago, so I'm scared to say it. But as of right now, I believe I've changed everything over.
Because like you said, Scott, we were planning on purchasing a car that was formerly leased in her former name.
Well,
and so we thought all the information was changed, and then
and then we also changed states.
True.
So
I'm sure that didn't help.
Yeah. So the changing of states, I have to re-register the car. But then, yes, the lease was in my former name. And then I go to move. And the way that it works is like my new name, the stuff wasn't in it and blah, blah, blah. So I have to register the car before I can go back and rebuy it. Yada, yada. It's a lot. So it turned into what we thought would be a 1-day process of just going to the dealership. Is still dragging on, and maybe
should be wrapped up soon.
Should be, which would be like a 3-week course of what we're on.
Yeah.
So, stress. Yeah.
Here's another example of something that sounds really stressful. As a fellow motorcyclist, I definitely would not prefer this happening on the road. Shai says, my clutch line snapped while splitting lanes on my motorcycle last weekend. Couldn't stop. Or, of course, couldn't start.
Yeah.
Luckily, my club brothers stopped traffic. Wow, that's...
shout out to being in a club.
Yeah, I'm sure that's...
I guess that's a better reason to not drive solo.
Especially, like, for me, I feel like you ride a big hog. I feel like that's what you mentioned once. For me, riding a little Yamaha FZ8, it's a little bit more manageable. I mean, it's still 400 pounds. But it's a whole lot better than 800 pounds, I think is how much those big ones at least weigh. But, man, that would be stressful. But, hey, there's a good answer to what can help stress.
Yeah.
Having people watching your back.
Having people around. Yeah, for sure.
That's definitely a very helpful thing.
Also, like, talking about your stress, I don't think people put enough weight on that of... you're not burdening other people when you go and you talk about stress, and I don't think enough people open up about it. Even if it's redundant, even if you keep telling me it's busy season, or a specific client, or a specific coworker.
Or that one subscriber,
who just won't hit the follow button. Who won't become a member.
That one person who won't become a member just stresses me out now. That's a joke. All are wonderful people.
All jokes.
But real quick, just in case there's anyone new in the chat. Hey, it's right below you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And you could also consider hitting that bell notification.
Ding.
And get notifications when we go live, when new video drops. Hey, sometimes those members only videos are very, very nice. But, eventually I like to drop it to everyone because I want everyone to know. Because I have a lot of video ideas that are coming up. I can't tell all of them because I don't want any of you to steal them.
Whenever we get my Disney castle.
That's true. That's going to be
will be a
hefty live stream.
Is it going to be, are you going to build it with me, or are you going to let me build it?
I don't know yet. I'm sure I'd like to build parts of it.
You can build the minifigures.
The minifigures. We still need to find some Disney 100 minifigs.
Did we not have any?
We don't have all of them.
Oh.
But there's a lot of ones that would
If we're getting the castle, yeah, I feel like we should collect those. So.
Yeah, we definitely talked about how people can make us stressed.
Yes.
But
no, not
you. Medical issues.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure.
Can be stressful. At least I've been very fortunate to not have too many medical issues, which it's just one of those things where one thing can happen.
Yeah.
And it just flips with a cascade of issues or a cascade of stresses.
Yeah, because, well, and then when you have medical issues, a lot of time that can bleed over into other things like
Unintended.
like work issues, work stress, money issues, family,
finance, CPA.
So, yeah, that's something definitely, like, not only like the physical or mental pain that you're having, but it can bleed into the rest of your life that way. Yeah.
What about taxes? Do you think taxes are stressful?
I think taxes stress a lot of people out just because of the way the United States does them. It's like, hey, how much do you owe us? Oh, I think I owe you this much.
I'm gonna do a poll. I want to do a poll
of what people think is more stressful.
Mm-mm.
Oh, is taxes stressful?
No.
What is your question? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think taxes can be stressful. Also, the forms they make, like the fact that you can get a degree in it to do it for other people, I think shows that it's a little too complex.
Well, see, no, that's not necessarily true because that degree is more so for if you have very complicated tax returns and you want to make sure you're
I get it
sucking
too.
every dollar out of it.
Having a business or something, your taxes start to get a little more complex. But even just the way the forms look, it's not user friendly.
Yeah, because what you can do obviously is you can fill the 1040 out yourself and make sure all the boxes are filled out, yada yada yada. But yeah, even that you have to make sure everything is added up correctly. I don't think they're formula driven at all because they're usually just fill in PDFs if you do it electronically.
Yeah.
And then not a lot of people have the option to use TurboTax. I know a lot of people probably do.
I think a lot of people do.
But I mean,
I
think that was it was like $100 to file. Granted, we had to file in a couple states.
Yeah.
But no, it was it took me an hour and a half ish last night. So
which ours were a little more complex because I mean, I had 2 different income forms and we switched states. It's our first time filing married. So yeah, a little more complex.
Do you think this is stressful? Slipping on a banana peel and getting a minute late to work can be a stress.
Wait, you're a minute late because you slipped on a banana peel, or are these separate instances?
That's true. That's a good point. They could be separate.
I think I've never slipped on a banana peel. So
the socks I'm wearing right now are very slippery on our kitchen floor.
Mine have little grippy on the back.
Yeah, don't show your feet. There's weird people out there.
I wasn't gonna show it to the camera. I was showing you. But yeah, being late, I hate being late. I absolutely hate it. I would rather be 20 minutes early than 1 minute late. So I feel that stress. All right, what's this one?
Also, well, we can talk about the late thing a little more. Because I don't mind, depending on the event, I don't mind being a little late. Like,
no.
If it's not a thing where it starts and you are interrupting people by walking into a place, I don't mind being late. Actually, we're gonna talk about this late for a little bit.
At college,
I was never late.
If you could sneak into the classroom, if you could have, not saying that you did, or that it was possible, would you? Is that something you'd count as?
Well, no, because you get. Now it's too low.
Yeah.
You get penalized for being late.
Do you want to move it?
Yeah, I will. You get penalized for being late at the college I went to. You got penalized for being late. So, no, I wouldn't have been late.
I'm trying to think of like other things. Okay, what about like, I mean, are you ever late to doctor's appointments? Knowing that the doctor usually runs late, but your appointment is at this specific time.
I'll get there right at the specified time. Like I won't show up. Well, generally, a couple minutes early, but I'll plan to arrive at,
What
like if the meeting is at 10, I'll arrive at 10.
What are some things that you will arrive early to?
It depends.
No, what? Give an instance where you would be
something
early.
where I've never been before, if I've never been there before, or like a client meeting, or mainly somewhere I've never been before, and I have to figure out what I need to do when I get there.
If you got to pick, how early would we show up to the airport?
2 hours.
2 hours before boarding?
You don't mess with airports. You always show up early to airports.
I know, and they do say 2 hours. I guess it depends on the airport for me of if we would go earlier. Oh, thank you. Jeez.
I can't believe I just did that. No screenshots allowed.
Thank you.
No screenshots allowed. All right, now let's go back to, this was a good one. I wanted to get the late thing out of the way, because this one, we're coming back to more on topic, on brand, because it's
That's
a Lego
good question. Yeah.
channel.
I won't be.
Yeah, you won't be stressed. But I'll read it out for our blind folks in the chat. Now that you've embedded yourself into the online Lego community, will you be stressed out at Brick World? An example, making content, building a mock, trying to make time for everyone. I
feel like last year you would have been more stressed when you went because it was new.
I would probably agree with that, because last year, for those of you who know, I feel like I've said this a lot. And just to summarize, we've got 8 votes on the poll, and 62% have filed their taxes and 38% have not. So I think that's 5 and 3. Yes, that would be 5 and 3.
Nice.
That's impressive.
Good job, guys.
Halfway through.
Wanting that money back.
Yeah, I hope now we can ask the next question. Did you get a refund, or did you owe more taxes?
I feel like most people get a refund.
Most people, but you never know. You never know. So with Brick World, and yeah, I mean, you're young. How long have we been going?
Mm-hmm.
Almost an hour.
Yeah.
Like Mrs. CPA said, I think last year I was more not stressed. Anxious is probably a better word.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. I had an idea because I've been to conventions. I was gonna say cons, and then I decided a convention. So I've been to many conventions before, so I knew what to expect from that aspect. But from the idea of, and exactly as it was a little unnerving, but I felt like, also because I had 2 buddies that were gonna go, and they were going to go, and they kind of dropped out at the last second.
Are you trying to at them right now?
I'm not trying to. I am adding them right now. So that part was a little, because it was within, originally wasn't going to go. I was going to back out. But then I think on Wednesday, I decided we're doing this, and I posted a video saying.
I'm pretty sure I was telling you to.
Yeah,
like,
you
told
me to go as well.
You already had like so much planned. I was like, I know you want to. I know you'll enjoy it once you're there, but just getting you there.
Yeah.
But this year you have me.
Yes, I do. And I know many individuals. I've got, a bunch of people I'll be hanging out with. You as well.
And your friends.
Yeah, I guess.
And fans.
I prefer to call them not fans, but
firm members.
Well, yeah. I hope it'd be sweet if a couple members. I think we got to get Scott out there. Scott needs to go, and we need to get a picture.
Where's Scott from?
I don't want to dox him, but I think he's sort of close-ish.
Oh, I thought he wasn't in the country.
I think I'm pretty sure he's in.
Okay, I didn't mean to dox you either. I just thought he was.
So yeah, that aspect is going to be it's going to be easy. I'm not planning. I will definitely be doing some interviews. Okay, there you go. Scott told us we didn't have to. I was right though. Scott, I want you to know I muted myself and told Mrs. CPA what my guess was.
You don't know if he lip read.
No. If people are lip reading, they're going to lip read.
You could just go like this and talk.
But I do want to get some. I'm definitely not building a mock. That just because I can't. I'm not good at building creatively like that. But I will be hoping to interview some people. I kind of want to make the M&R interview an annual thing where I do that, and then also.
He seems like he'd be chill for that.
I would think so. Hopefully he didn't take offense to my meme video. I just memed it hardcore because I literally had no plan. This year I'll probably try and have a plan.
You can even ask him that.
Yeah. Well,
if he's watched
chill,
it.
So
I feel like
I'm pretty sure he watched.
I feel like
at
it's
least
also
some of it. He maybe didn't watch the whole thing.
I don't know. Maybe his humor.
Yeah, so. It could depend. But of course, I'm going to try and live stream on Saturday. We'll see how the internet holds up, but I will be hoping to do a CPA-fol podcast, ? And yeah, interviewing. I want to interview Built Bricks again because my mic was not working when I interviewed him the first time, so I didn't catch any of the sound, which was very lame. And then what else? Who else I should say?
I don't know. Whatever.
We got Kalo. We've got
there.
The ACOB crew. Definitely want to talk to them. It would be great to have a little interview with Sean and Brent. And then, because I'm going to be walking around with these mics, and I'll have two of them, so it'll make a lot better of a
quality, like more
ability to interview as opposed to last year. I was like, boom, and then switch.
Yeah.
So that'll make it a lot easier, a lot better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that'll be good.
What else? I don't think I'm going to do a vlog this year, unless there's a lot going on with
everything.
Yeah, other people, and just something crazy happens. I want to get this on video. I don't think I'm going to be doing any vlogs, which is fine because my 2023 vlog is still set up, sitting on a hard drive. It's not even back on my computer because I put it to a hard drive and left it there. So we'll see about that. And then, yeah, it's going to be awesome to meet more people, hang out with friends I've made along the way, meet Shy, of course, maybe, I don't know who else. Duck Bricks. That's who I can't remember if I mentioned that on my podcast episode with Caleb.
Who you met or who you want to meet?
I want to meet because he's like the Bionicle guy. He has every Bionicle set.
For reference,
ever.
He just pointed to his whole collection of
Bionicle over there. And this past summer, he got to meet the designer of Bionicle, Christian Faber.
Wow.
And out in Copenhagen. And I really want to talk to him about that. So hopefully we can get an interview with that. And yeah, Cooper, you bring up a great point. I want to see the M&R vs. Duck Bricks rap battle. That'll be amazing. Speaking of, we need to book her. I need to book our hotels. I haven't even done that yet.
That's on you. You're the money guy. You're the money CPA.
So, and I haven't bought your ticket yet either. So you might not be able to go.
Wow. I'll steal your ticket.
Just cover the... Oh, yeah, no, it will just say Lego CPA, I think. I don't think I gave him my real name.
There you go.
So...
I was going to say, our last names match now.
Yeah, CPA.
Yeah.
Mrs. CPA.
Mrs. and the...
And we'll go back to Oaktown's message saying, I'm going to Brick World Chicago 2024.
What general advice?
It'll be my first Lego convention.
No, you don't need to be stressed.
What general advice do you have? And should I be stressed?
Don't need to be stressed.
I would say certainly no, you don't need to be stressed, especially even if you're going solo. Just make sure people like, and I know on the ACOB podcast, I don't know if you're watching that. I think that was 2 weeks ago. Kind of talked about a Brickworld 2024 hype or just convention season hype.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't need to be stressed. And I don't know how like, your level of outgoing or social blah, 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 or social ability, I guess.
I feel like you can make it as social or as not social as you want. Like if you just want to go in and admire Lego, you can do that. If you want to go around and talk to people, just
like, hey, my name is, if you want to have people know your name, or you can say, what up? I'm Oaktown.
Yeah.
How's it going? It's great to meet you. And then I'll say, dude, so great to meet you too. I'm glad you're able to make it out.
Yeah, come find us.
To Brickworld Chicago. And then, of course, from there, as Cobb mentioned, like and Shai mentioned actually, because Shai was on that podcast. Just don't be weird. Just be chill. Don't assume that everyone you meet is going to be your best friend and you're going to be able to talk to them all day, every day.
Yeah.
And you're going to get along with some people. Like, for instance, you might get along with me, or you might get along with Shai, or you might get along with Firebird, or we just might not be click, or just it's a time constraint. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing to keep in mind is people have time constraints, and you will likely get to talk to everyone you want to, maybe not as much as you want to, but it's kind of a time.
I do think something important to remember, especially not so much with like us and our stream because it's small enough, but for bigger people, you might watch them and feel like you know them every day, and interact with them in their channel every day, but that doesn't mean that they know you. Yeah. So, and I know like celebrities a lot get that. So, but on a smaller scale, I said not our scale. I feel like we know the people in our chat mostly, or we recognize them. And it would be really cool to see you guys, but not every time does that work moments, for people.
We all know you. You're exempt from that rule. We all know you. Yeah, I would say to some extent. I would also say though, I was kind of surprised how, like, I think most people are going there or want to meet Ryan and talk to him, and he's super chill. He's a nice dude, super chill. As long as you're chill, he's chill. Like, if you're coming to say like something stupid, like, "Hey, why do you always complain about this or that?" Yeah, he's probably gonna get a little defensive, and
rightfully so,
because you're coming at him. Like, just be there to talk to people and have a good time. Ryan, I don't know who's another famous Ryan.
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, yes. Ryan Gosling is going to be at Brickworld 2024.
What's another famous Ryan?
There's not many.
Someone else name another famous Ryan, because I can't think of any.
Oaktown's at the top of the list for the interviews.
Got it.
Here's a good question. Mrs. CPA, is Mrs. CPA going to Brickworld?
I plan on it. Someone just needs to buy my ticket. Yes. I will be going this year. So yeah. I'll see y'all there.
Ryan Reynolds. How did we forget? Oh, does anyone that's relevant in social settings?
Oh, that's bad.
Now?
That's so bad.
Yeah, we should have known that.
I know.
And Moments, thank you so much for renewing your 4-month intern. And see, Moments, so I hope you know this, but you are never allowed to undo your membership, because you were the first one, and I think I turned my memberships on when about the time we got married. So every time you send a message, I know exactly how many months I've been married. So you kind of have to stay an intern forever.
Just can't count. Wow. All right.
I hope you're not sad
someone
about
else.
That.
Name another Ryan though.
Do you know Ryan Nino?
No.
It sounds familiar. I'm gonna look it up.
No, I don't know. I don't think I know.
Instagram CEO of something. Some like Instagram CEO. This or
Shy
that.
Time. I did say we started with right. Debbie Ryan doesn't count. It's the
Jack
last
Ryan.
name.
Jack Ryan is
Nope.
a
First name Ryan's.
Yeah, Jack Ryan is a what's it called? A fiction character. That's what.
Oh, that doesn't count. Nope.
Someone else said
That is
something.
really sad. We couldn't think of Ryan Reynolds. Oh, jeez.
Oh no way, Cooper! You found me from the Ryan interview. That's really cool.
Who? Wait, who did Oak Brick say?
Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson.
Who's that?
No, he's scrubbed from my mind. Sorry.
I don't know who that is. Anyways.
Director and writer of The Last Jedi.
Oh. That's too nerdy. I don't know that.
Someone said something and
Did you miss it?
I missed it. And now I don't know exactly what it was, but it should be all there.
All I can smell is that monster.
Yeah, I don't know if all of you are familiar with the Duck versus Ryan Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan
Seacrest. That's a good point.
That's a good one too. Okay.
Ryan Seacrest here with the top 40 countdown.
You're weird.
That was my Ryan Seacrest.
That was bad.
It was better than average, right? I mean, if I took like 2 seconds and tried to
you're okay.
finesse it, I could do it.
It's
But
okay.
so the Duck versus Ryan thing is kind of interesting, and I would agree. I think Duck. I see it playing out in my mind, and I see Duck doing a better job.
For what? I'm out of loop.
There's gonna be a rap battle between Duck Bricks and M&R. It was a joke, but it might actually happen.
At Brickworld?
At Brickworld. On the latest episode of the ACOB podcast, Duck was on.
Yeah.
And Ryan just randomly came on and said, and they
saw
ended
that
it
part.
with
That's funny.
rap battle, Brickworld.
Well, now if it doesn't happen, I guess a lot of people are going to be very disappointed. So it has to.
I think it has to happen. It will. I hope Ryan comes prepared because I know Duck will.
Well,
I feel like once Ryan realizes that it's actually happening, then he'll lock in, and he'll be like,
Then he'll
"All
be
right,
like, oh, snap.
we're doing this. This
Yeah.
is happening."
There you go.
But I look forward to observing that.
Yeah. So no reason to be stressed at Brickworld. Everyone's friendly there.
Is that where we got off on
Yep. Everyone's friendly at
that
Brickworld.
tangent?
As long as you're friendly.
As long as you're friendly and, like I said, not weird. Pick up on the vibes of people.
Yeah.
And
You won't vibe with everyone. That's
Nope.
life.
That is life. So,
'Tis life.
well, I think basically we all concluded that we deal with burnout by Lego.
Or hobbies.
Hobbies, Lego, and people. Because for some people,
People
is kind of all that.
People can be a stressor. People can be
A stress
helpful.
reliever.
Yes. Yep.
So, and also, you know what drops stress for me is when you like and subscribe on this video. That's what really will help my stress levels, and it'll help.
Me building my Disney castle will relieve my stress.
Only the Disney Castle? I thought you wanted.
Well,
Was there
and
another set you
and my
wanted?
Stitch.
That's it? Any others?
There was other ones, wasn't there? Oh, the Animal Crossing that's coming out. The Stitch, both Stitches, because there's two of them. Oh, the book set. I want the book.
The bookshop.
The bookshop.
Modular.
Yep.
We're getting into modulars, Shy. Eventually, we'll
We're
be
getting
getting into
there.
modulars.
You can blame Firebird for that one.
Yeah.
What was that corner one that they still have of the modulars?
The boutique.
Yep.
Boutique hotel.
Yep. I do kind of like the police station just because of the robber with the donut.
Which, yeah, unfortunately that one, it was $130 on Lego. I wish you knew that. I wish I knew that you were going to be into it because
I am only getting into it because of the
seeing it in person.
Well,
in the bookshop.
Yeah, but in the bookshop. And then I was like, oh, and if I got the bookshop, the boutique is cute. And if I got the boutique, I might as well add a police station.
Which, honestly, I would probably take the what's it called over the police station? The
boutique?
The museum.
Oh, the museum's good too. I guess that one is also on my
and we
list
both,
too.
I think we both like the museum, especially I like the green color.
Yeah.
The olive drab green.
And you know what? While we're going with those, the train station I feel like would be nice too.
Which train station?
The one that I think it was designed, wasn't it, by somebody? No, not at all.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about Assembly Square. We'll talk about it. We'll because that's on Amazon, I think. But it's $300, and she needs to get some paychecks first before we start shelling out the dough for modulars. But we're dipping our toes, and
we also need space. Space to put
and
it.
We're not like you, Shy. We're not nostalgically tied to the modular, so we're not going to feel like we have to get all of them.
Yeah.
So we can pick and choose the ones we want and not feel bad about it, because that's something that I've recently learned with Lego, is that I used to want to get as many Star Wars things as I could, and I'm fine with not getting all of them anymore. Now for Bionicle, that's not the case. I have to get them all, which unfortunately can get very pricey.
Is there more Bionicle than there is Star Wars Lego?
No.
Okay.
Star Wars Lego has been going for 25 years. Bionicle went for 10.
Yeah, but I just feel like they could put out more Bionicle in a time frame. Like, release to release of Bionicle versus Star Wars release to release. I feel like they put out more Bionicle in that 10 years than...
Probably. But yeah, just by pure 25 years with all the Lego sets, Star Wars Lego sets they've been doing.
Yeah.
It's hard to... off a gut check.
It's up higher, though. I would say. Bionicle is up there, though.
As far... For what?
Like, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Star Wars sets.
Yeah. There's just definitely more Star Wars sets than Bionicle. 100%.
Someone Google that. Figure that out.
We can figure it out right now. But real quick, Kathleen says, Bionicle was one of the most stress-filled, emotionally draining stories I've ever read. And I think you mean that in a good way, because I think that can definitely be a good thing. I mean,
being that connected.
Yeah, because that means you're emotionally invested in the story. It means something. The writing is compelling. The writing is.
I've definitely cried at books before, and like when you finish a series, you could like. I remember this one series. It was 5 books long, and when I finished, I was like, I feel like I just lost friends. Like I know these characters like so well. And then you're like, what do I do? Reread the story? Move on with my life? How do I do that?
Kathleen, you might get a kick out of this. So Mrs. Sepia was reading a book and she wasn't feeling it. And so I told her I had this book that was given to me by someone who sold me a couple Bionicle sets. And I was like, oh, you should read this Bionicle book because you like reading books and it's Bionicle. So it's only 130 pages. And of course she reads 300 to 500 page books. The introduction or
1,000.
The introduction is literally 4 pages. And she couldn't even get 2 pages in. And she just was like, I can't do this. And was complaining about the most ridiculous things.
I will say that I do read fantasy books, and they do have weird names. But they are not as long, and they are not as weird as some of these names.
I was more than willing to have her read a name, and I would correct the pronunciation. So, for instance, like that, how would you pronounce that?
Zoller.
Yeah, that's right. How about that?
Takoro.
Yeah, you're right. How about that?
Madoran.
So Matoran, but I corrected you. And how about that one?
Mata Nui.
Yeah, you got the C right, spot on.
We're learning.
How about this? Was that one of the long names you were kind of confused of?
Yeah, Turaga Vakama.
Taraga Vakama. I guess in general, you always put the emphasis on the second to last syllable. Morbizak. Actually, I don't even know how to pronounce that one. But yeah, so I was very disappointed. I actually read almost 100 pages in one night,
you did
one afternoon, which is kind of surprising for me. Was
that busy season too?
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
It was longer than that. But
So what was longer than that?
it was longer ago than that. But
I think it was a week before
Toa
the
Metru.
Metru. So yeah, we're working on her. Maybe one day she can more Bazak is how I say it. But maybe one day she can read Bionicle books.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna stop at read. Well, okay. And the other thing that I will defend myself with is I'm used to there being more detail of stuff, and this is kind of like reading a Transformers book, and
it's a book
I'm not interested in Transformers.
8 to 12-year-old. But that's the thing. I was like, who cares if you're not interested? It's 130 pages. It's like a couple chapters or two chapters.
Why would I waste my time?
Because
reading
you
a
didn't
book I
care
don't
about.
like.
You didn't care about the other book. See, this is also something that gives me stress when she doesn't involve herself in my hobbies like I would want.
I am on this podcast right now. I have so many witnesses to me being involved in your hobbies.
Goodness.
Meanwhile, you can read one of my books.
I don't know how to read. There's no proof that I know how to read, so I just leave it at that.
Anywho,
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do the correct brightness. Cause see how I like our outlines. There's no reasoning. There's no reasoning, unfortunately, with her in this area. So
okay, like I'm sure that there are details of like described, but I don't know. At least in the introduction, the first couple pages, I had no idea what anybody looked like. I had no idea.
You don't need to know what people look like. It's not about what they look like.
I had no idea the setting that we were in. They didn't describe the setting.
Okay, but she didn't get past the introduction. She didn't even get through the whole introduction. I just asked her, get through the whole introduction. And if you hate it then you can stop. But she didn't get through the introduction.
I guess the other part is I don't feel like, well, first off, this is book 3.
No, but that doesn't. It's adventure 3, not book 3.
Well, what I'm going to say is, like, what is legendary great discs?
You don't need to know.
Then, yes, I do.
But I also had offered to explain anything she needed. We'll have a Bionicle. Honestly, I would love to have reading of this.
I think the problem.
It would be fun.
The problem for me
is
there's so many new names and places, and there's no description about them when they are first mentioned.
Which is what my job would be. Because I guess, yeah, there are some high-level stuff that you wouldn't know, but that's stuff that I would probably describe to you.
Like, this to me, a show was created, and then the guy decided to write a book. Not a book and then made into a show. So without watching the show, without being interested in the characters outside that created this book to be written, that inspired this book to be written, I'm missing stuff. So and that's why I'm not interested.
Then we'll go there. We'll go to the very beginning and we'll get the lore.
When you read my series, I will read your series.
My series.
And that's what we're leaving it as.
Okay, well, we started this episode stressed, and we're going to end this episode even more stressed. But hey, that's just life. That's where you end up sometimes. And we should be back next week. Not we. She's not invited next week. We're gonna have. That's what the message I was trying to find. He's probably not still hanging out in chat.
That I'm not going to be back?
No.
Oh. Am I not?
Where is
invited?
it? Where are you?
What are you looking for?
A message sent by.
Bye.
I'm going to find it before we leave. Where?
We're going to be here forever.
There it is. Brickotomy was hanging out in chat. I don't know if he's still there. Let's see. Yep, he's still hanging out. Good to see you stopping by. Hope you're having a great time with fam. Rumor has it, someone in his family bought the Venator.
The what?
The UCS Venator.
Oh.
So, thanks for hopping in chat. And yeah, I'm stressed for that very same reason. So, we're both in the same boat. But hey, that's just life, I guess. But one final time, if you're new here hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe as we send off the video. New, like I said, new computer setup. I think it's working pretty well.
I think so.
It looks to be running the CPU off the charts, but hey, that's what it's for. To do the streams, take over the heavy lifting, and we'll see you all. I've got definitely some video ideas for this week. Just need to execute. Just need to do them. They should be coming out this week. I hope you'll find them interesting, especially if you like Bionicle. You'll certainly find them interesting. And we'll see you in a future episode of the CPA-fol podcast as well. Maybe more Bricklink Designer Program. Who knows? We'll see. But thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to file your taxes and watch out for the IRS.